Welcome everybody. Another Nerd Fitness Facebook live stream with Coach Justin here. We'll wait for some people to check on in. Just getting this bad boy started up. As I see people popping in, we'll say hi. Go ahead, drop your name, just how your day's going and everything today. Best part of your Wednesday. I just started watching Sopranos last night. I've never seen it before. I'm probably the only person that's never seen it in the entire world. So, what's up, Becky? How are you? Nice to see everyone dropping in. I'm excited. We're going to be doing a little bit of cooking, a little cooking 101 today. We're going to be doing a couple of these over the next couple weeks. Different strategies, ways to cook meals, super simple, easy ways to cook meals that are super basic, taste great, and that anyone can enjoy. Today I'll be going over some like stir fry stuff, and I think in the future we'll be doing some other things like roasting veggies and whatnot. Hannah, hello. I used to have a girlfriend named Hannah. I hope you're not the same person. This would be awkward, but it doesn't look like it. She's married and has a different last name now. Jamie, hello. How are you doing? Right on, right on. I'm excited. I'm hoping my dogs don't start trying to make out with me again in this live stream or fighting, but they seem to be pretty chill. I'll make sure to get them on camera here in a little bit. I've gotten some requests for more dogs and more theme songs. So theme song I can definitely promise today. That's happening. Right on. And we'll give it a few minutes. I always like to give it maybe like 3 to 5 minutes. Before we jump into everything, let some people sneak in. I know some people kind of get here a little bit late and they want to see the whole thing. So, Jillian, hello. Jamie, hello. You guys are all so friendly. I love it. Everyone's like welcoming each other and stuff. So, it's very, very cool. Very cool. Now, did you guys check out any of the live streams earlier today? We had Matt this morning going over like a bit bigger beginner routine with and how to incorporate the kids, which was pretty awesome. And we had the other Matt Shortis, getting into a little bit of juggling this afternoon, which was super cool. And Matt Shortis, if you're listening, I dived in on that one, got my tennis balls out and got back into some juggling as well too. So thanks for that, brother. Appreciate it. Good, and we'll get started in maybe a minute or two. And I know there's requests for my dogs, and I promised them, so we'll bring them in here. Kailani, say hi to everyone. Everyone say hi to Kailani. This is Kai, my sweet little girl. My pug back here, Lincoln. There you go, buddy. He's probably going to be by my feet this entire stream. So hopefully we'll be able to make this work. Hopefully I'm not tripping over him. I'm prepared today too. I've got some notes. I've got some stuff. Maybe doing a little bit of cooking today live. Hopefully my smoke alarms aren't going off, but I do all right in the kitchen, so very cool. And as you're dropping in, go ahead, drop your name. Again, I'm Coach Justin, and today is going to be a little cooking 101. We'll be doing some more of these in the future. Roasting vegetables, different cooking methods, ways to cook different proteins, and other sorts of foods. Today I'm just going to be covering a super simple cooking strategy, which basically is stir fry. And I'm sure everyone has stir fried before. One of my most basic cooking techniques that any of us can use. And it's great because it's super versatile. You can cook anything stir fry. You can use any protein that you'd like, chicken, beef. You can go plant-based if you want to with tofu and why not. So anything basically can become a stir fry. Another great, hello. Well, right on, hopefully I don't let you down. And then along with any one thing becoming a stir fry, it's great because you can incorporate a lot of different sides with it as well too. So you can do your stir fry and leave it with protein and veggies. And if you want a little bit more of a lower carbohydrate meal, or you can have a side of rice with that, place it on top of quinoa, roll it up in a tortilla. So lots of different things you can do with stir fry. So that's why this first 101 video that's what we're going to be talking about a little bit here too. One thing I did want to mention too, especially now that we're all in quarantine a little bit right now, and when we're doing some cooking, is not letting not letting perfection be the enemy of good enough. I don't even know if I said that correctly, but I know with me, I'm very, very particular about my food. I love grass-fed stuff, wild-caught, salmon, free-range eggs, and all that jazz. And sometimes it's a little bit harder to find that stuff right now. I know some people really watch their sugar intake, so they're reading labels and putting ketchup down if it has grams of sugar in there or sauces and stuff. And I think right now with the situation that we're in, good enough is going to be okay. So not letting perfection kind of get in the way of good enough right now when we're trying to make meals for ourselves. And also when you're in the kitchen, just not being afraid to burn the roast. I think being in the kitchen is fun. It's an opportunity to explore flavors, really experiment with taste, and then being comfortable and confident with messing some things up. Hey Jim, what's happening, brother? And it's okay. I personally love being in the kitchen. It's a great stress relieving technique for me. I love throwing on good music. I'm a big Frank Sinatra fan. Love country music. If you love country music, please say something in the comments. I don't want to be the only one. Sam Hunt right now is my jam. So throwing on some good tunes, dancing around a little bit while I'm cooking, it puts me in a great mood. It's very stress relieving for me. And hopefully it can turn into something like you. You can make it an opportunity that you really enjoy, maybe getting the whole family involved in. And then just remembering to be creative right now as well too when we're in the kitchen. I think, good. Rebecca, thank you very much. We can listen to country together then. And just not being afraid to get creative in the kitchen. Like recipes, in my opinion, my personal opinion, and I think maybe in the opinion of some others, is that they're just somebody else's interpretation of what a meal should taste like. When you're in the kitchen and you're making food, you can get creative and you can really explore some things, create meals that you love, that your family enjoys, just experimenting and stuff like that. So I think with again today we're going to go into a stir fry, just because it's a super versatile dish that you can use for lunch, dinner. There's so many ways you can go about it. You can incorporate different proteins, again, like I mentioned, if you're a plant-based eater, tofu and different plant-based proteins as well too. And before we kick off, we definitely want to get our theme song in because it was requested, so more theme songs coming for you guys. This one is all about stir fry, so here we go. 1, 2, 3. Talking about stir fry, get in my belly. Talking about stir fry, so good, season me up. That was me throwing salt on stuff, by the way. So without further ado, and after my theme song, we're gonna get into a little bit of stir fry. I'm gonna pull up my notes here. So for the stir fry that I'm gonna be rocking today, I'm gonna be doing a little bit, and I'll bring some of these ingredients over. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of lamb. So I rolled up some lamb balls, and yes, deep down I do want to chuckle because I'm a 12-year-old boy when I say lamb balls. So I've rolled up some lamb balls here that I found at, I think it was Sprouts the other day. I've noticed that chicken and like beef are a little bit harder to come by. I was able to find some lamb, some tofu, and some fish. So those can also be great in a stir fry as well too. Good, I'm glad that you guys are laughing as well too. So when we're starting off with that, I'm also going to be doing some Brussels sprouts, butternut squash, and onions. These are going to be my veggies for the stir fry. Interesting thing here about with veggies and stir fry, typically what you're going to want to do, or what works great, is combining more dense veggies and softer veggies together. So you would cook them separately because they'll cook at different speeds. I've combined them here just for the sake of the demonstration, and plus it's just going to be fine. It'll still taste fantastic the way that I'm seasoning. But again, typically you want to use softer vegetables and cook those together, and more dense vegetables and cook those together, like your Brussels sprouts, your broccoli, cauliflower, and whatnot. Butternut squash, onions, some other ones go eggplant. They kind of typically go well together as well too. Those veggies, I typically, personally, I'm a lazy chef. I like to buy everything frozen. I like to make the process as easy on myself as possible. So that way I don't have to chop things. It's all done for me. I'm just much more likely to do it. So I don't know about you guys, but for me, it works really, really well. So what I used for those veggies were just some roasted veggies that I picked up. These were the Brussels sprouts, the butternut squash, and onions, and also some extra Brussels sprouts that I threw together. I won't be making this today, but typically I'll show it to you afterwards. I typically would throw this on a bed of white rice, and again, this is just frozen white rice. All I have to do is throw this in a pan or in like the Instant Pot or something like that. Again, it makes my life so much easier. So to start this stir fry off, I'm gonna heat up this pan. Typically, we're gonna do it on a pretty high heat when you're stir frying. I'm gonna keep it on low for the sake of my smoke alarms not going off while I'm trying to do this. I'm gonna choose my oil. That would be the next step. I'm gonna use a coconut oil here. When you're doing a stir fry, typically you're gonna wanna look for something with a higher smoke point. A lot of different people will argue about the oils that are, what's good for you, and here and there, what you can throw in a pan. Again, I'm trying not to let perfection be the enemy of good enough here. So for me, I like to use oils that are solid at room temperature. They usually have a high smoke point and do really, really well for stir fries. So coconut oil is a great example of this. Grass-fed butter is another one. If you do want to use oils, it would be things like peanut oil or canola oil. And again, people will kind of argue about the benefits of cooking with stuff like that. You can also use an olive oil. It doesn't do well under high heat, but if you get a refined one, that one will typically do better under a high heat. So again, a refined olive oil, which I do not have. I have an extra olive oil here, so that's why I'm not cooking with that one. Sorry. Right here, you've got a couple of options after the pan's kind of heated up a little bit. So what you can do is you can add some seasoning in right now if you wanted to, and that would be kind of blooming. It basically brings out a little bit more flavor to your seasoning. I'm not a huge fan personally of that, so I'm not gonna do it right now, but at this point you can add in your protein once that pan gets hot. So what I'd like to do before I throw it in, I put this in a Tupperware for a reason, is I like to salt it up. And the way that I like to do this is with a 3-finger pinch, but I do it one at a time. So I'm gonna do a 1-finger pinch, and I'm gonna throw it in there, sprinkle it all over my lamb balls. Yep, lamb balls it is. Deep down, I really wanna start laughing. From there, I'm gonna shake that up a little bit and mix it up. Now I'm gonna do this 2 more times, just to kind of get that salt mixed up around there. For the sake of the video, I'll do it 1 more time and then add 1 more when it's in the pan. I'm gonna sprinkle that all over top. I'm gonna shake that up again. I know. Lamb balls. I should probably just say it over and over again. Let's get it all out, right? Let's get it all out. So I'm gonna shake that up. And the salt is so great because it brings out the natural flavors of what you're cooking, especially the meat and the protein that you're using. I love lamb. I was introduced to it on a trip to Greece like years ago. I got like a slow cooked lamb with like a yogurt dipping sauce. Changed my life forever. So it's something I try to pick up as like a staple each week from the grocery store. So I'm gonna throw that in there. Oh shit, I was ready to roll. Oh man, sorry guys. I don't know if I can cuss on these videos, but I just did. It might happen again. I'm gonna throw this off to the side. I'll throw, for good measure here, I'm gonna throw that extra pinch in here. 3-finger pinch of salt is roughly about 1/4 of a teaspoon. And that's usually typically good for most people a meal or two. If you're watching your salt intake, totally your call if you want to get it in there or not, but I love adding salt. It brings out so much flavor to the meal. So I'm gonna let this move around a little bit and sit for a couple minutes. You don't want to stir it too much at first. You want those lamb balls to cook evenly on both sides. So I'm gonna let this sit for like 2 to 3 minutes here. As this is cooking, after that 2 to 3 minutes, that's when I would typically throw in the veggies. And obviously I'm not gonna throw that in right now. This has still got some time to do. Thing with the veggies when you're cooking with them, if you have a lot of veggies or a lot in your pan, what will end up happening is they'll steam rather than crisp up. So what you can do is you can after your meat is done cooking, you can take that out of the pan and separate it and throw your veggies in individually and let those cook by themselves at first if you prefer like a crisp vegetable, or maybe like a little that little char on the outside of it. If you keep it in there by themselves, with the meat. They'll probably steam a little bit more and soften up, most likely soften up. It's been cooking for a couple minutes, so I'm gonna move this around a little bit. Nice, it's not working too good, or that's working too good. So I'll throw those veggies in now. Typically, this would be cooking for a little bit longer and on higher heat, but for the sake of the video, we're gonna work with it. So I'm gonna throw these veggies in and give that a quick little stir around. I'm gonna turn up that heat. Good, and I'll let that sit for a second. Now this is when we would kind of add in our flavors. This is where it gets really awesome, super fun. You can get really, really creative. And again, there's no rules. You get to be your own chef, kind of create your own flavors here. If you're looking for something in particular, Nerd Fitness site actually has a really great site that Noelle put together. So shout out to you, Noelle, if you're watching, and if you are not, just giving you a big, big shout out. She has a great list of different spices for different flavors that you're working on, and I'll share a couple of those with you here today, but I'll also include some other ones that I really, really like. Let me turn this down a little bit so I don't get that smoke alarm going off. So we've already salted it up. That's gonna bring out some of those natural flavors to our lamb or to whatever protein that we're using. But if you're looking for maybe like a French style stir fry, tarragon, thyme, and rosemary and lemon will work really, really great. And again, you don't have to remember any of this. I'll put this together for you guys in a document, and I'll send it. I'll make sure you all get it. If you're looking for more of like a Greek style stir fry, you can do oregano, olive oil, and lemon juice, or like lemon zest. An Italian stir fry, some combinations of herbs and spices that you could use would be oregano, garlic, basil, and tomato, or like canned diced tomato, or maybe even tomato sauces. Sorry, we'll turn this up here. An Indian style dish, something like cumin, coriander, curry, turmeric, or turmeric, however you pronounce it. A Japanese one would be miso, sesame seeds, ginger, yuzu. And that goes really, really great. Those combinations go really great with tofu. So if you're more of a plant-based eater and you're doing a tofu stir fry, that would be an excellent, excellent choice. There is and I'll share some of these with you. There's actually a seasoning blend that I love, Norikomi. It's Japanese multi-purpose seasoning. And this right here is basically white sesame seeds. Sorry, I pulled it up there. Black sesame seeds, nori, which is black seaweed, salt, and kelp powder. So super, super awesome. Makes a really awesome Japanese style stir fry. And I do, my dad is vegan, so I dive into some plant-based foods every once in a while. And a dish that we often cook up together is a tofu stir fry, and Japanese seasoning is something we go with. And then the last one is Thai. It's one of my favorite ways to do stir fry. That would be cilantro, lime, green onion, and a little bit of mint, which is super awesome. It brings out such like a fresh flavor to your stir fry. Super, super good. Typically the stir fry is probably going to be cooking on a high heat for maybe like 10-ish minutes. Kind of tasting as you go. Enjoy your food, taste it as you go, feel how the seasonings are sitting, the salt is seasoning, and don't be afraid to add it in as you're moving along. If I did want to touch on like the seasonings a little bit too, sometimes it can feel a little overwhelming, like, how should I season this to taste better? And Coach Stacy went over some great things in her live stream on Sunday, and I'll share a couple with you. So many companies are making this so easy on us. They've got so many great and wonderful blends out there right now. One of my favorites is the Frontier Spice and Herb Company. This is actually a pizza seasoning that I'm in love with right now, and I'll share a couple of these with you guys as well too. This works well on everything. It works well for burgers, lamb, even on the chicken as well too. It has bell peppers, fennel, and oregano in it. It's a really great seasoning, super awesome blend that you can just kind of throw in as well. So we'll get that cooking here a little bit. And as that's sitting, again, as your stir fry is sitting, you could be prepping like your side dishes right here. Again, it's gonna do really, really well on maybe like a bed of white rice, quinoa, noodles or like zucchini noodles or something along those lines, or wrapped up in a tortilla. There's so many things that you can do for stir fry. Such a great versatile meal. And along with that, some really good versatile foods maybe to keep with you are eggs, banana, potato, and lentils. They'll do really well in a stir fry as well too. Bananas might be a little bit surprising, but super cool thing that you can do with them. They do really well like a fried banana as like a side dish with your stir fry. It's super awesome, especially if you like that sweet and savory type thing. It's a great way to have like a nice kind of balanced meal for yourself. Sorry. So as that's cooking up, about 10 minutes later again, I did make one last night a little bit differently. I'll kind of share it with you guys. And I went to my glass containers because Stacy and Coach Jim made fun of my plastic ones last time. My feelings got hurt. So I've moved and stepped up, leveled up my game to these glass containers. And as you can see that in here, classic little stir fry, a little bit of rice in here. I was kind of picking at it, I'm not gonna lie. My lamb, Brussels sprouts, onions, and there's some butternut squash in there as well too. Seasoned up very similar to what we did today. And that, for the most part, is a really classic and super simple stir fry. It takes 10-15 minutes tops from start to finish. If you're really looking for some specific ideas about stir fries that you could probably do at home, again, I've got a really nice document that I'll make sure that all you guys get your hands on. There's a lot of information in here, but there's a shrimp and broccoli stir fry, super, super delicious. Shrimp, broccoli, garlic, and lemon zest. There is a orange and ginger pork one that I'll include in there as well too. It's just pork tenderloin, cauliflower, carrot, yellow pepper, orange zest, and ginger. Kind of one of my favorite ones that I keep, that's in my heavy rotation here. A Thai stir fry, chicken, pepper, eggplant, mushroom, lemongrass, garlic, sweet red chili sauce. There's a tofu and Chinese green ones. This is actually one of my dad's favorites. It's tofu, bok choy, broccoli, sesame oil, and rice vinegar, which is a really great way to bring out some of that flavor and to balance it out. Rice vinegar for sure. And then the last one is a spicy beef curry, sirloin steak, strips, tomato, sweet pepper, hot pepper, cumin, cilantro, lemon zest, and there's a yogurt, like a yogurt dipping sauce that goes along with that. So I'll let this finish cooking up here. That is some Cooking 101, a little basic stir fry. We will, of course, save the video for you guys so that you have access to it on YouTube, on the Facebook group, and in the Discord as well too. I'm going to stick around here for a little bit as this is kind of cooking. If there's any questions that pop up, if you guys want to send those my way, happy to answer them. But as always, after the video, I'll go through all of the comments, make sure I answer or recognize each one, and make sure you get the answers that you need for sure. And also, as a reminder, let me pull up this calendar. We've got some live streams coming tomorrow as well too. I'm losing track of days now that I'm in quarantine. I don't know if you guys are, so I think tomorrow is Thursday. I'm pretty confident. And tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern, we've got Stacy. She's doing, I'm pulling this up, Nerd Fitness Yoga, Namaste at Home. In the afternoon, we've got the Avengers Assemble. That's 2 p.m. Eastern. That is going to be with Coach Jim, myself, Carrie, and Matt Shortis, who you guys probably saw doing a little bit of juggling today. And then in the evening, it is 5 p.m. Eastern, and that is going to be Coach Pat. I'm looking forward to that. Hack Your Home Workout Intermediate Style. Pat's awesome. He's got the best hair in the coaching staff by far, so you're going to want to check that out. We're trying to put together a fund to get him to cut it, but so far it's not happening. But anyhow, broccoli stir fry, is that tough since the vegetables are shaped so oddly? Cooking leanly seems to be the problem. That's a great question question, Jennifer. Yeah, so a couple things you could do is you could chop those up into smaller pieces so they cook a little bit easier, and you should be okay. That's a really great question though. I love it. And I'll jump into some of the other questions if I missed some. My apologies, guys. So without further ado, I'm gonna let this stir fry cook up a little bit more because that's my dinner tonight now. Other than that, I will see you guys on the flip side. These have been awesome. If there's anything you would like to see in a future a 101 session, by all means, drop it in the comments below and we'll make it happen for you. That's what we do over here at Inner Fitness. Aim to please. So take care, guys. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and we will see you later. Thank you.